Hello folks and welcome back to X-Plane 12. As you may know, the final release of X-Plane 12 has been put out yesterday from release candidate number 6. Now we can consider X-Plane 12 as a final version, as initial final version. So it has gone gold, and we are here to make a first test fly with the Cirrus SR-22, which is another brand new aircraft which comes with X-Plane 12, together with our Citation 10, together with the Airbus A330 and so on. Okay, we are at Milano Malpensa, pretty much vanilla, my version of X-Plane. With the exception of SimHeaven X World Europe and my old auto scenery tiles from X-Plane 11. Maybe those two add-on a little bit tankering to my system, because as you can see, I'm only at 30 frames per second with those settings which are not the best, so medium to high range, only a couple of sliders to maximum. Okay, let's try. Still there are some problems connected with the night lighting, which is giving problems of performance. Some problems with the shadows, which are not perfect, which are flickering, continuously moving, things like that, and the matter, which sometimes is offset compared to the real one. In this case, it's pretty much the same as the real one here at Milano Malpensa in this moment, but many people have claimed that the matter in those last versions of X-Plane are pretty much off. Okay, other little thing are performance related, and as you can see, 30 frame per second with my quite powerful GPU are not the best in comparison. For example, Flight Simulator, I can get 50 to 60 frame per second in every situation with more complex planes and eyeliners. So I don't know if it's due to my to the two add-ons that I added to this version of X-Plane. So let's see how the plane behave in the air. This is the free castering wheel, so we have to steer with the toe brakes. You got to get some use to it because it's a little bit tricky. Very difficult if you don't have the pedals. All in all, the aspect of X-Plane 12 is not bad at all. The clouds have been fixed, they are no more flickering. Also in virtual reality, yesterday I tried a flight with my headset on, and I have to say that the clouds have been fixed. Finally, it was my biggest concern for VR flying. Also, the lighting is good, is very good. The atmospheric lighting Okay, let's line up. Transponder in alt mode. You can set an initial altitude here. Initial altitude is something above 0. Let's set 8,000 feet. Okay, let's go. At a certain point we will be able to steer the aircraft with the rudder as it gains some speed. 90% power. Eighty knots rotate. .15 degrees pitch up, flaps up. Let's climb at 90 knots. Okay, the scenery with the orthophotos is not bad at all. It's, in my opinion, it's not the level of Flight Simulator, but for VFR purposes, it is nice. In my opinion, it's almost mandatory to have some auto scenery here in X-Plane 12 if you want to make some VFR flying. Not that the default scenery is so bad, but it's not enough to recognize some landmarks and known points. And if you want to make, if you want to use the auto scenery, you can make yourself with the Auto 4XP application, which was working for X-Plane 11. It works for X-Plane 12 as well. And my suggestion is to use also this fantastic SimHeaven X-World. In this case it's X-World Europe, which puts every building in the exact real position according to the OpenStreetMap layout. So every house, every building you see, it is there in the real position, where the default X-Plane scenery has a simpler AutoGen, where it puts buildings mainly along the roads, and this is may be lifelike in the United States, for example, but not here, not so much here in Europe. Well, you need something more to depict the real layout, the real position of buildings. SimHeaven X-World helps a lot. There is also X-World America, there is also X-World Africa, so depending on OpenStreetMap coverage, you will have a good representation of the building positioning. This is the city of Milano, which is very dense, and you can see that frames are not so good. They are just more than sufficient to me. but the experience is not really smooth anyway. From the indicators above, you can see that I am currently CPU limited. I have a 10th generation Intel i7, which is not the best, while the GPU is an RTX 3080 Ti, which is it's not the 4000 generation, but it's pretty much powerful. But we know that X-Plane is very CPU demanding, so you need first of all to have a very powerful single-threaded CPU. In this case, the best buy, in my opinion, would be the 13th generation of Intel. But also the new AMD, which is coming out, is very powerful. Here we have some lags, maybe due to the scenery loading, but overall the lighting is very good, the visibility is well represented. You can see that depending on the direction and the amount of objects that you meet, the frames are very do change a lot. So if I face the city of Milan, they will drop very quickly. If I face towards the airports, they will improve a bit, yes. Let's get back to the airport. Let's make a downwind and then land runway 35 left, which is closer to the terminal. Okay, now that X-Plane 12 is final, we hope that also the third-party developers will fix the flight model problems that was affecting the last versions of X-Plane release candidates, so Zibotol, so on, because Laminar made some deep changes in the flight model. So hopefully now all the third-party aircraft will be fixed. Okay, let's turn to base. Drops down a notch. short final. Also trees have been fixed. Somehow now they look better than before. Perhaps down a notch. Here we go. Ouch. Yeah, the physics are better than Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I don't have any XP realistic plugin, but the movements are quite lifelike. Even if I'm not a pilot, of course, I can't say, but my feelings is that yes, the physics are slightly better here. Taxi out. The airport is default, it comes from the gateway. Very nice as well. All the airports coming from the gateway are very well made, and they are checked by the gateway team, so all data or all the markings so on are according to the real world, so they are more than enough to fly also online. Also the building are good in my opinion. And with the next updates of X-Plane, there will be new airports coming from the gateway. Not in this initial release, but with a subsequent release that will come shortly, where the developers say they would add some features, some graphical feature on the scenery, besides the new airports coming from the gateway. Let's hope for the better. In this state is okay, it's good, but for sure the environmental lighting is a great step forward compared to X-Plane 11. The clouds, of course, but there's still something that have to be fixed to have a completely new experience, free of all these little bugs which are affecting now this version. Okay, let's stop here. Great. That's all. Thanks for watching, my friends, and see you next time. Bye bye.